So I'm joined by Kerry from Runners World. We're at day 8th
Yes.
marathon. Without talking about the 12 in 12, just quickly going back to yourself, I mean, you've obviously run marathons before?
Yes, I've run, well, obviously since I work for Runners World, it's part of my job, so I could run 18 marathons before I started, but it's a totally different experience doing something like this. I was saying to my fellow runners last night that because I had quite a good day yesterday in that I managed to run most of it rather than walking large parts of it, I'd never been so happy to running 10-minute miles. In a while I felt like I was flying, which is not the sort of thing I would normally find myself saying. So, you know, it's odd. I think the other difference I discovered is that during a normal marathon you will have that period where, you know, you start off strong, then you feel good, and then you have a dip and maybe come back strong at the end, but they're chunks of a few miles at a time. Within days like this, there are little kind of microclimates of highs and lows and in mood. So it can be 10 minutes where you think I'm feeling really strong, and then suddenly you'll have 10 minutes where you think I can't possibly get to the end of the day, let alone 12 marathons. So it's about keeping your emotions in check just as much as keeping on moving, to be honest. From my point of view, as long as I keep moving forward and don't talk to myself too much, and therefore stay sane, I'm doing the right job.
And how did you end up signing up for 12 in 12?
I met Sarah, the founder. Well, I was already friends with her, and she'd been wanting to do a fundraiser for a while, but a big, large-scale one. So she came up with the idea of doing 12 challenges in a year, of which these 12 marathons are one challenge. This is my December challenge. It's obviously by far the biggest. So yeah, we've done. You know, I think we've done really well. I think in terms of fundraising, it's when you tell people that you're doing a year-long challenge and you're doing lots of different stuff, they go, yeah, I'll give you some money later, and they do or they don't. But when you give them something tangible, like I'm doing this really bonkers one event and I'm running 12 marathons in 12 days, that's something, if they don't understand it and they don't really understand the scale of it, they at least sort of know what you're doing. So, you know, up until a week before we started this tour, I think our group fundraising total stood at just over £100,000, and I think by the end of this month it will have gone up to closer to 150 just on the back of the tour, which is a rapid rise. So it's, you know, it's worth the blisters, to be honest.
It's very amazing, very amazing. I mean, just talking through, we're on day 8, so we've still got 4 marathons to go. How do you do? What's a normal day? Because you've had 8 days of normal days now. What's a normal day in
Normal day
in 12?
Wake up at 6 o'clock, snooze the alarm twice, finally get out of bed, peel your compression tights off, stagger down to breakfast and shove whatever in your face you personally can kick down. In my case, it's been a little tiny bit of fry up just to keep myself happy, so like a quarter of a piece of black pudding, half a sausage or a slice of bacon, and the others are looking at me in utter disgust that I'm able to eat this sort of stuff. And then fruit salad and stuff, then you get physio, get taped up, start running, run for X amount of hours, come back, more physio, more taping, ice bath, shower, food, blogging, media commitments, bed.
And
that's it.
Without delving too much, some of your lower points, were you willing to share them with us from the last 8 days?
Low points, let me see. Going into Subway, because I was on a massive sulk coming out of Leicester City Centre on day 6, I think. I was doing 21-minute miles, dragging my left leg behind me, so I went in and got a 6-inch sub, but just turkey and salad, nothing unhealthy. And then yesterday getting overtaken by a mobility scooter in the early miles before my dodgy knee had warmed up, so it's a character building experience.
Well, we talked about the lows then, some of the highs?
I think the highs are, to be honest, there were lots of little pockets of highs, just when you get a little burst of adrenaline, or you've just had an energy gel or whatever does it for you, and you suddenly discover that you've actually been cruising for the last half mile, not thinking about anything particular, feeling strong, and then you realise that actually you're not doing an A marathon, you're doing the 7th marathon in 7 days, or the 8th marathon in 8 days, and you think, isn't it amazing what the human body can do? And you feel quite proud of yourself. So, yeah, I would say that.
And as I say, we've got 4 more marathons to go, and I know you've been inviting people to come along and run with you. So
yeah.
I say, where can people find out more about coming to run with you?
They can go to the12in12.com. If they click on the Hope Tour tab, it has all the routes left for the remaining days. It has contact, phone numbers and details for any of us here. If you want to come and join us at the weekend, running from Windsor to Richmond to London or anything like that, then give us a shout. It doesn't have to be a full marathon. We've been picked up people today at the 10k mark, halfway mark, 10k to go. Whatever, if you want to burn a few extra calories before you eat Christmas turkey, give us a shout.
It's great. Well, before I finish up, we did talk off camera and you did mention you were looking to do quite a big race in April next year.
Yeah.
The Marathon des Sables?
Yeah. It's...
So, this is good training in some ways, but obviously not so good in terms of temperature.
No, I mean, I've been moaning about the blisters I've had here, but they're little baby blisters compared to what I'm going to get out there. The lowest temperature here is -5. The hottest it's going to get out there will be about 50 degrees, but it's half the length out there. So, you know, I've been told that if I get through these 12 marathons, then I'll finally MDS a breeze. I'm not so sure, but it's nice to know. We'll see. I've got 4 months to train for it anyway, so.
Well, thanks for taking some time with us. I know you've got to have a massage and an ice bath now, which we wish you luck for. And we wish you all the best for the last 4 marathons.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Brilliant. Oh,